Hi guys. What you don't know is I have been talking to you guys for a solid 15 minutes before I realized that I hadn't pressed record. So I'm going to try to go over what I was already saying. I will admit that sometimes it loses its pizzazz when I've already said it and I have to repeat it. First and foremost, coffee is the beverage of choice, and I'm drinking coffee out of my new cup that was given to me by a very dear friend. She knows who she is, and I thank you so much for this cup, the other cup, and all my other goodies you brought me. I just love it. So, we're having a conversation tonight about Kamala. And I figured out, I think that's the correct way to pronounce her name, Kamala. It's easy for me to remember now. So we were talking about Kamala because a friend of mine tagged me in a post about Trump coming back to the Butler, Pennsylvania area. I don't know when it's going to be yet, but we are so excited, and yes, we will go back. Absolutely go back. In fact, oops, sorry about that. All of my kids want to go back, even the little ones, which is incredible to me. They're so strong and they are so resilient, and they really love Donald Trump that much that they want to go back and stand in line for another 5 hours in the heat. Hopefully it won't be as hot when he comes back, and maybe it'll be in a different location, but either way we will be there. And she had made this post and she tagged me, if I, asking me if I was going to go back. And somebody, a gentleman, we'll call him a gentleman, he came on and he was extremely ugly. He was attacking Donald Trump, of course, and us for supporting him. And just, the very typical, we're all used to this by now. And a lot of times I just kind of let it go. But today, I wasn't in the mood to let it go. So I was bringing up some valid points. And the difference between me, and I think us, and them is that we do some research, okay? We try to find facts. Now, there are times that we just talk out of emotion, and of course we will get things wrong. And of course we want to see the best, and we know that not everybody is perfect. So yes, there are instances where somebody said something that was less than ideal. Of course, that's the one thing that they love to throw in our face is the "I'll grab you by the you-know-what." Insert kitty cat here. There goes life flight. We're on a path. It's flying over. I'll just wait. Okay, I think I can carry on. I hope it wasn't too loud. Let's be realistic. We've all been younger. We've all had egotistical times in our lives. And we've all said some things that we are really glad social media wasn't around for. If we're all just being honest. I am not one bit offended by what he said. I'm a woman that grew up with a lot of guy friends, okay? And even some of the girlfriends I had were even nastier than the guys, let me tell you. And if we all want to be truthful and honest with ourselves, we're not in the spotlight, and we're not in the political realm. Neither was he at the time. And we say things. We say things that are funny. We say things to get a rise out of someone. We say things to brag. I went fishing and mine was this big. And we all know it was only this big, okay? These things happen. But of course, that is the punchline that a lot of people on the far left like to use. They like to exaggerate that. And I'm not trying to be dirty or foul-mouthed on this channel at all. But rumor, we could say it's probably not a rumor. We could say it's probably a fact. But Kamala's done some things to get to places where she is that are the female equivalent to saying the things that we said, okay? We all know this. She Monica Lewinsky'd it, guys. That's the truth of it, and that's putting it very mildly. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about track records. We're here to talk about things that we've said as far as political viewpoints. And we're here to talk about those things because those are the facts that cannot be disputed. And these are facts. So these are things that I've learned from other people I watch on YouTube that actually present you with links, that actually present you with pictures and real things. Now, I'm going to talk about pictures really quickly. There is a picture of her going around with Jeffrey Epstein. Guys, that picture is photoshopped. Please do not share it. We do not want to be the party that throws around the false information. Quick research on that shows that it was photoshopped. It was another gentleman that she was actually photographed with. So if you guys see that picture, don't share it, take it down. It's not right. And we do not want to be the party that throws around false news, okay? We're not doing this. So that picture is not real. Was she friends with him? We don't know. Was Donald Trump friends with him? He claims that they were acquaintances. That's as far as we know. Will we ever know anymore? We don't know. So, and until that client list is released, you know, we still got to push for that, guys. We still got to demand that we get this client list. But here are some things that you guys, I'm going to show a couple things that you can screenshot that you can keep for facts. And we're going to go from there. We're going to have a discussion. And if you guys have actual facts and real information that needs to be shared, please put it down below. The first thing that I want to bring up is, what has she done in her tenure as vice president? So 3.5 years, she's been in charge of one thing. And people on that side will say, absolutely not, that's not true. I'll provide you with a official political document, okay? She was a border czar, and I always thought that term border czar was a bit weird, but it turns out that's the actual term. So we all know that the southern border is an absolute disaster. It's a wreck. People are flooding through by the millions, hundreds of thousands, who knows how many at this point. They're coming in unchecked. They're coming in, they're causing crime and everything else. It's been an absolute disaster. They're causing housing issues. It's a mess, okay? And that was the one thing that she was in charge of. People will, of course, say, no, that's not accurate. She wasn't in charge of that. Get ready to screenshot, because I'm going to put up the actual document. You can screenshot it. I believe you can also look it up. This is the actual document. Get ready to screenshot. Okay, you guys got that? Okay, so that negates itself. That's argument number one. The next thing that I have for you guys to screenshot, this will be the last screenshot, okay? And that I have for you. The rest of the stuff we can just look up. This is concerning to me. So her father was a professor of Marxism. I mean, that goes without saying. I have an actual picture of her dad in a newspaper clipping about the college that he was a professor at, and he was stepping down for whatever reason, and there was nobody to replace him. I wonder why. And so it was causing a problem because students wanted to learn about Marxism. I wonder how much of that he taught to his daughter. Anyways, I'm going to put that in here. Get ready to screenshot, ready, and go. Okay, so how much of that did rub off on her? Well, there is a video that you can look up. It might be difficult now because I think they're going to start scrubbing the internet, but I have, with my own 2 eyes, watched a video that was not AI. Listened to her say the following verbatim, that some people have more and some people have less. And what we need to do is give the people with less more so that everybody is equal. That's communism. That's how communism works. On the forefront, it sounds great, but when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, it's not great, okay? This is not what we want. This is not how our country is to be run. You have to work for things. Sure, some people are born with a lot more than some people. I mean, we ain't got that much here, okay? There's a lot of people that have a whole lot more I mean, and that's debatable because I feel like I have everything, even though it's a humble life. But it is true. But would I ever expect somebody to give me more? And if they give it to you, does that come without a ball and chain? Because I don't think so. Anyhow, yeah, you can look up that video. I think there's more instances when you really sit and you really listen. There's more instances where you'll see that she's definitely got a communist edge to her, and you have to wonder if it's because Daddy-O, promoted it. Now, some people will argue just to be a professor of something doesn't mean you believe in it, and I get that to a degree. But I think there's a lot that goes on in the subconscious when you preach something day in and day out, even if you don't think that you believe it. Subconsciously, there's a part of you that believes that. And you can argue with me if you want, but there's a psychology behind that. So there's that. Now, we want to talk about her track record a little bit in the state of California. From what I understand, I don't live in California. I'm the whole way over here. They're the whole way over there, okay? But from what I understand, the folks that live in California do not love her at all. I don't even think they like Gavin Newsom. I mean, nobody like, who could possibly? Anyways, we're not talking about old Gavin here. We're talking about Kamala, and she has an interesting track record there in the state of California. So I think it was Attorney General was the seat that she held. And from what I understand, she imprisoned a whole lot of people for marijuana use. I don't care where you stand. This is not relevant to me. However, when asked if she had ever done it, she just gave us that good old Kamala cackle. So, I mean, we can assume the answer to that question. So there's that, which seems, okay, that's kind of petty, whatever. But then there was that one instance with the fellow on death row. I don't have all the details of that case. If you do, please leave the information down below. I'd love to hear it. I know everybody else would love to hear it. But there's that one instance with that fellow on death row, and she withheld evidence, to my understanding, and almost got him executed. And if I understand correctly, he didn't. It would have been wrongful for sure. So there was that blunder. But the biggest one that I understand is, and this is big to me, this should be concerning to just about everybody. If you just hear it, it's wrong. But then if you sit on it and really think about it, and this is who you want to run for president of your country, then it really gets wrong and almost a bit terrifying. And a bit communist, I suppose. Anyhow, so what happened was she had prisoners, and prisoners will do work release where they'll go out and they'll work. Basically, it's get out of prison. Maybe you could earn perks, like, I don't know what you earn in jail. I've never been in jail. But, you can earn different things, maybe extra yard time, or who knows. But from what I understand, she held people beyond their sentencing to continue to work for the state. And in my opinion, that's slavery. But if you want to elect somebody that's willing to keep people beyond their sentencing so that they can continue to work for you for free, let that sink in, let that marinate for a second, and you want that to be the leader of your country. That's troublesome. That's problematic. So we talked about her current things that she can brag about, which is nothing. And we talked about her past things that she can brag about, which is absolutely nothing. There were a couple other things that I wanted to bring to light. Oh, this one needs to be brought up and spammed everywhere. So recently, she's been fundraising, and they were so ecstatic. She got, what was it, $80 million or $800 million donated to her, and they were like, look at her. It was $800 million. Look at her go. She's doing all of this. Wow, she's fundraising more than Donald Trump. That's amazing. You know where that money came from, do you? A Swiss billionaire wanted to donate $800 million to Kamala Harris. We'll come back to the Swiss part here in a second. But it is illegal for an outside of the country, non-citizen person to donate to a political campaign. So there's a very corrupt organization called, what is it? Act Blue. There we go. Act Blue. And they pretty much laundered this money for her to receive. And it went through, so it looked like people like you and I donated this money to her. So on that note, Pinball Preparedness, I don't know if you guys know him or not. I follow Pinball. I watch his videos every single day. Pinball said you can go into the, what is it, FEC.com. What you want to do is go up to the 3 bars, the menu, drop down, and it's going to say contributions. You click on that, you go up to the filters, and you can type in your name and see if you donated to anybody. It was Project Veritas. He does not have James O'Keefe. He doesn't have Project Veritas anymore. He does his own thing. James O'Keefe is the one that actually broke this news story. He was finding that what was happening is Act Blue was laundering money through the FEC, showing that like people like you or I were donating to people. So if you really think about this one, it's actually terrifying, because apparently the assassin at Butler had made a donation to the Republican Party. Now that's kind of fallen off, and I haven't heard too much about that after the original like news story came out and everything, and they were trying to really pawn it off as he was a Republican. Oh, how easy that is to do, because they have everybody's social security numbers. Okay, they can frame any single one of us. They know your address, they know your phone number, they have your social, they've got it all. And so they can hurry up and say, oh, Kira donated $15 to Kamala Harris. No, Kira didn't. I already went on and I checked, and my family hasn't donated, so that's wonderful. I mean, and it could go either way. Maybe it'll say you donated to Donald Trump, you didn't donate to Donald Trump. You don't. How did they get that information? That's not right. So go and check that out, first and foremost. And second of all, that's where this money came from. It was actually a Swiss billionaire, and it got laundered through Act Blue. And that seems like illegal use of campaign funds in a way, doesn't it? Where did we hear about that before? Was it the state of New York? I guess the rules don't apply when it's your own party, right? Okay. But here's something even more concerning. Now, I've seen a video. I cannot speak to if it was like spliced or if it was legitimate, but I've seen this video where she slipped up and mentioned population control. It's a big deal, guys. It's a big deal. I kind of don't think it's a blunder or something spliced together, because if you have a Swiss billionaire donating to you, what is in Switzerland? Davos. And what happens at Davos? The World Economic Forum. And also, George Soros just endorsed her. So when people want to come to you and they want to say how wonderful their candidate is, first of all, once you've stopped laughing, you can present them with some of these facts. And please, by all means, don't take my word for it. Look it up. It's going to be difficult to find some of these things in the future. So please screenshot the things that I put ahead of this video. They're going to scrub the internet, guys. They're going to clean things up. I just heard that old Gavin Newsom put into effect that he wanted his homeless camps cleaned up. I don't know if that's true or not. I think that was on X. Please let me know down below if that is true. I kind of feel like if he's trying to clean up his state a little bit, maybe that seems like he may be VP choice. Something to watch. But yeah, guys, we're gonna have to keep some eyes on things, and we're gonna have to get our facts, and we're going to have to go forward with goodness in our hearts and wanting to give facts from our brain. That's how we're going to get past these people that are just so hateful. And you know, you're never really going to change their opinions, but you can shut them up. Because once you provide them with facts, all they can do is spit nastiness back at you. And at that point, you just stay above it. Just walk away, because they already know they can't win. Anyways, guys, this was probably a long enough video. As you can see, it's getting dark and I have to go do my barn work. So take all this information. I'm sure you guys probably knew most of this already, but it's nice to have it all condensed in one little area. As we learn more, we're going to go ahead and make more videos on this stuff, and we're going to keep it all together. That way we have facts that we can keep and use to educate people with kindness, right? We try to stay nice as possible. Sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes you just want to slap somebody, but don't slap. Remember, we're the party with the cool head. Everybody else, they're the ones that do all the damage. That was another. No, I have to just tell you guys this really quick. I had to laugh because this gentleman said that he's always asking for, Trump is always inciting violence. That's why he's coming back to Butler. He just wants all the violence. And I called the guy's bluff, and he stopped it with the violence part with that, because I said, isn't it the Democrats that are usually the ones that are the mass shooters, isn't it? Not all Democrats. Let me rephrase this. Far less left liberals, okay? Because some of you guys on here are registered as Democrats, and I like you guys. I think you're wonderful. You're one of us, okay? Because just because you are assigned a party, that's what you signed up for, doesn't mean that's who you are. So I don't ever want to ostracize you guys, okay? That's not my intent. Just know when I'm talking about these people, it's the far out people, the Looney Tunes, okay? So, aren't they the ones that are burning down cities? Aren't they the ones that are usually the mass shooters and whatnot? Aren't they the ones in the political party that were asking for the violence in the BLM riots and such? Now, who's the violent party? We're the ones that keep a cool head, we get our facts straight, and we trudge forward. And that's all we can keep doing. So take these facts, my fun little minions, use them at will. If you guys have more information on her, please leave it in the comments down below. We love the comment section. I love you guys in the comment section. You guys give me life. And I think you're wonderful. So I want to hear from you. On that note, I'm going to head out of here because it's almost dark. Sun is down. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.